Hey guys, back with a new cryptid video, as you can probably tell by the thumbnail. As you can also see, any and all new cryptid videos that are going to be coming out of me are going to be on a new playlist called Tales from the Cryptid, in which I'm just going to shine a light on some lesser known cryptids, give them a rundown, kind of like I did with the Jabba Fofi video, which if you haven't seen, do that. Now, today's cryptid of choice is the Agropelter. Sorry, I mean Agropelter. Or Argopelter. Acropelter? Or my favorite name I saw while researching this, Furious George. You could say any of these names and you'd be talking about the same creature. And with that being said, there is so little about this cryptid that this video is probably going to end up shorter than I like, but hey, I think it's still a cool cryptid. The Agropelter is described as a hairy man, similar to that of Bigfoot. To me, he kind of just looks like one of those monkey plushes with the long arms. The Agropelter is extremely territorial, attacking anything that crosses its path by throwing tree branches, pine cones, acorns, just about anything it can get its hands on, and just chucking them at some poor sap who just happened to be walking down the wrong path. This bitch empty! The Agropelter lives in the hollow trees in the conifer woods from Maine to Oregon. In Fearsome Creatures of the Lumber Woods, 20 Chilling Tales from the Wilderness, the Agropelter is described as the largest New World monkey, being clearly related to an African baboon. In this book, the cryptid is described as not completely evil, and only is known to attack lumberjacks, so don't be cutting down any trees near them and you should be fine. Also, this cryptid is just, really largely tied to lumberjacks and tall tales about them, like horrifying, scary stories about lumberjacks dying because the Agropelter killed them. And it's just kind of a way to describe mysterious deaths in the woods by lumberjacks as, oh, it must have been an Agropelter. It also gives the terrifying description that this creature has collected human hands and attached them to its arms, and that's what they're made out of, in order to give it better accuracy and a stronger throw. If I saw this version of the creature, I would simply dap him up and leave. I mean, as long as you aren't cutting down trees, he seems like a chill guy. So, just be careful of your hands, because he might add them to his collection.
The first runner-up will take his place, and so on and so forth. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make. Tournament begin!
Now, is it possible that dapping up an Agropelter is a bad idea? Maybe, but I would argue this. Would you really want to give up the dap of a century just because you might lose your hands? I didn't think so. Now let's get into the good stuff. Some supposedly true stories about the Agropelter. And there's literally nothing. I'm lying. Only one man, Big Ol' Kittleson, has been known to survive an attack with the creature, and that's just because the wood that was thrown at him was rotted, so it just broke over his head. But with only one encounter with the thing, there might as well be no information. When I looked up Big Ol' Kittleson, I found nothing about the Agropelter other than what I just told you. Still, there was a guy named Big Ol' Kittleson who lived in Oregon, who was a ranger supervisor from 1922 to 1960. So it's possible that it was that guy, but that nickname was also kind of popular around the time. So, if it turns out it's the same guy, consider me a believer of the Agropelter. If not, it's a tall tale that's just really cool. Furious George, or the Agropelter as some like to call it, is just a tall tale that lumberjacks used to tell to rookies to scare them. But what about Kittleson, I hear you ask? Well, I think he just saw someone's pet monkey that got loose. Best theory I got. If you got a better one, you can let me know. With that being said, though, let me know what you thought about the Agropelter, whether it's real or a myth, or if you're like me and that it should totally be renamed to Furious George. I mean, it's right there. I'd like to say real quick while I finish out this video, thank you guys for getting me to 10 subscribers. That's awesome. We can get more in the future. And by the way, that Christmas video got a lot of views, a lot more than I was expecting it to get. So I'm going to review those other 3 movies that I talked about in the Christmas Horror Story review. So if you're excited for that, let me know. Keep a lookout for more content. I'm going to keep up the more cryptid stuff that's going to be coming. I don't know which cryptid I'm going to do next. I'll leave it a surprise. You can also let me know if there's any cryptids that you would want to know about. Maybe I'll discuss them. We'll see. with all that said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a good morning, day, night, whatever time it is when you're watching this video. And I'll see you in the next one.